The 44th presidential election was held on November 8, 1960. This election consisted of 8 parties and 1 independent. These parties consisted of the Democratic, Republican, Socialist Labor, Prohibition, States' Rights, Socialist Workers, Constitution, and Conservative parties. Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy and his running mate, Texas Senator Lyndon B. Johnson, won the Democratic primary. The Republican Party chose Vice President Richard Nixon as their presidential nominee, and U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Henry Cabell Lodge Jr. as their vice presidential nominee. Harry F. Byrd ran as an independent candidate. This was the first election to be fully dominated by the Cold War. Kennedy criticized Eisenhower for letting the Soviet Union's economy take over America's economy. He also stated that Republicans weren't trying hard enough during the space race. Nixon stated that he would continue the peace negotiations he had while serving as vice president. Even though Nixon was only 4 years older than Kennedy, he stated that Kennedy was too young to handle the Cold War. Kennedy campaigned on his youthfulness, stating that he was a person of change. In an interview, Eisenhower joked about Nixon not having any set ideas, but Democrats were able to take that voice clip and use it against Nixon. Nixon campaigned in all 50 states, but that backfired because he spent a lot of time campaigning in states he was guaranteed to win, rather than in swing states that he should campaign in constantly. Although Kennedy was Catholic, he made it clear that he was running for the Democratic Party and not the Catholic Church. When Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested during a sit-in, Eisenhower and Nixon refused to pardon him because he was under state jurisdiction, but Kennedy made a number of calls to local politicians in an attempt to get him freed. His attempts worked, and Kennedy became the favorite amongst civil rights supporters. He also became very popular amongst the African American community. Kennedy criticized Eisenhower for not developing enough nuclear missiles to keep up with the Soviet Union. For the first time ever, both candidates participated in televised debates. They had 4 debates and had an average viewership of about 63.1 million viewers. During the debates, Kennedy seemed refreshed, while Nixon looked tired from his 50-state campaign. In the end, Kennedy won the election. He won 49.72% of the popular vote and 56.42% of the electoral vote. This election was polarizing due to both parties stating that the other side wasn't good enough to handle foreign and domestic policy.